Hi there, teachers. I want to talk today about Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was actually a program that I ran. It started as a lunch program with the grade level girls in second grade when I was teaching in North Carolina. It became an after school program that I did, I think, all 3 years. I was there. I was in Nebraska, and then I did it 1 year with like multi grade level students as an after school program when I was in Colorado. Did I do? No, I did 2 years in Colorado. Um, so this was something that I felt really passionate about. I wanted to help empower girls to know that they have control, that they are in charge of their lives. And I want to give you a little bit of backstory, not to get on like a soapbox or anything, but there's a reason why I felt this was really important. And it started with like when I was young. My father, when he was a part of my life, he was not very kind. It made it difficult to build a sense of self-worth. I really didn't feel worthy. I never felt enough. Um, it was difficult. And as I like hit puberty and attention from men shifted to creepy, um, it only got harder. Whereas I was having interactions with men that not men like not just men, but like other peers, like school peers, students who were my age and older, I had just developed this certainty that something was going to happen to me, something bad. And I wasn't going to see graduation. And how horrible, like awful, absolutely awful. And like I've done the work on this. Like, I'm in an okay place. Like, I have grown, I have changed, I've healed. Um, but I just want to share this because it's important to know, like, when you don't develop self worth and you don't, children who don't have self value and believe in themselves, that self efficacy, when they don't have access to that for themselves, it's hard to think things like graduating high school is possible. Um, like I thought something, and I mean, I did. I was assaulted at school and I ended up going to court at age 16 and fighting for myself. And that's a story for a different time. Um, but like something bad did happen because I just didn't know that I deserve better. And going to court was my first step to realizing like, hey, I actually like I want better. Like I have a voice. And so I wanted to help young children, young girls specifically, to see that they have a voice. If they can do this, if they can develop this starting in second grade, then they're already years beyond where I was. And I want them to feel confident in themselves and know that they have worth, that they have value, that they're enough just as they are. Like, I want to empower them. So when I got to teaching in North Carolina, it wasn't until my third year because, like, the first 2 years, a mess. Um, I started this, it was just during lunch. We would do different activities and things. And it was just with second grade girls. And it was so much more than I thought it could be. They helped come up with kind of our Wonder Woman motto that I used every year after. We are Wonder Woman and we build our own destiny. Like, how amazing is that? Like, these are second graders coming up with something so great. And I thought where I was in North Carolina, it was really important because I had students who were like, well, I'm going to be a teen mom. Like, they didn't say it outright, but that was kind of the energy they had. And granted, if that's the path you want to take it, but like your brains aren't developed until like mid 20s. Like, we should not be encouraging teen pregnancy. I wanted to let them know that they can do something other than be a mom. They can go pursue a career, they can pursue a passion. I just wanted them to see they had options. Um, so that was my goal. And I think it went really well. And there were some things that I did every year, and it was my favorite, and this is what I want to share with you today. Um, so there is, I thought it was a Dove commercial, but I think it's an Always commercial. I don't know what it is, but it's basically someone behind the camera asking, like, "Do you think there are limitations on girls?" And it's these children, and like maybe teenagers, but they are young girls answering like, "Yes, absolutely." Like they can give specific examples of limitations that they feel society has put on them because they are girls. And then they're like, "Well, what happened with this limit? Like what did this limitation do?" And the girls are talking about how it stopped them from continuing. It stopped them from moving forward and they gave up things. And then they're like, "Did that last?" And the girls are like, "No." Like I came back and I came back stronger than ever. Like I was ready to go and it's just this beautiful thing, and the word that they kept using was unstoppable. And I think that's why, like, today I got a bit emotional listening to "See" is unstoppable because, like, that is my word for Wonder Woman. And I feel so strongly and passionately that, like, girls are unstoppable and we've got to get them to see their power, see it all for everything it is. And I am so we watched that, and at the end of the video, the girls are writing down um, some of these limitations, some of these words on boxes, and they're like, "What do you want to do with that?" Like, not good enough on a box. And it's like, "What do you want to do to that box?" And they're like, "I kind of want to destroy it." And so, in the commercial, like this is a really brief commercial. I'll try and find it and link it in below, but they go in and they attack these boxes, and when I saw that for the first time, I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna do a thing." And so they watch it, and I'm like, "What do you guys feel about this?" And I also ended up telling them a story, about my own experience. I moved to a neighboring school district when I was in the middle of ninth grade, and I was also a drummer, and, like, I was a really good drummer. I learned how to do a level 6 solo, which is the toughest solo you can do, in 2 weeks, and I got, like, a 98 on it. Like, I was good, I was talented, and so I show up for my first day, and everyone's talking about this drummer who's amazing, and they're so excited to meet him, and I was like, "Wait, I'm a pretty good drummer. Is that me? Like, are you guys wanna meet me?" Like, "No, no, no, it's a guy. It's a guy." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's really cool. There's 2 of us. Like, how amazing is that?" And so I went through, like, several days because we didn't have band until, like, it was different in this like, later in the schedule. And I was like, "This is gonna be great." And we finally get to a band rehearsal, and I go to my very first one, and my teacher is up at the front, and he's like, "I really am so excited to introduce you to this level 6, 98 scoring drummer. Her name is Emily. She's right back there, like wave." And I looked around and I was like, "Well, where's the other one?" It was just me. But this limiting belief that girls can't be good drummers kept people from like seeing that I was also skilled. And that ended up like I struggled with my love of drumming after that. And like now I don't really drum. I don't do anything with music, which I think is a real shame. I'm not sad because the path my life has taken, I'm totally fine with. But I do share, it was like that belief made it hard for me to love drumming for what it was. And I was like, I want you all to know that you have no reason to let anything stop you. And there are going to be people that will have judgment and um, they might be unkind, but you get to control if that, sinks in. And the girls are like, "You should drum more." And I'm like, "Maybe I will. Who knows?" Um, but anyways, so I was like, "What have you been told?" And a lot of it's like family related because a lot comes from family, but a lot happens at school too. Is boys saying, "Well, girls can't play with trucks," or, "You're you can only be a mom. You're not good enough. Like the things they said, it got really deep. And maybe I'll find some pictures and share that in a short. Um, but it's like you can't do this. You can't be that. You can't be good at sports. Um, you can't be president. Like it's wild the things that these students at 7 or 8 years old already already hear or sense and feel in our society. So I was like, all right, let's write these down. And I had saved like a bunch of Amazon boxes because I buy a lot of Amazon every year. And I had put these boxes, I stacked them, and we wrote on Post-its all these limiting beliefs because we're girls. And the kids like hovered hovered. And this is every single year. I like have been shocked at the new things that I'm learning girls have limiting beliefs of because they're girls. And they covered these boxes with Post-its. And I I was amazed, and they're walking around and they're like, "That's not true. You can play soccer if you want to." Like they're supporting each other. They're standing, but I heard this too. I'm sorry. And the way that they're talking and giving each other validation. They're not shaming them for the things they've heard. They are supporting them. They're standing by like girl power, right? Girl power. Um and then I was like, "So, what do you think we need to do here?" And they already knew. They knew what was coming, but every time they're like, "We should destroy it." And I was like, "Okay, so we have to get everyone in position because if somebody's not in position, that's how they fall over." And like I learned after like the first two times I did it, it gets like feral. Like feral. Um so I've got everyone in a circle and I was like, "All right, wait till I say go." Like why do we want to destroy this? Why do we want to rip this apart? Why do we want to kick these things? And we go over some rules and expectations, like please be aware of people around you. And they were always really good. I was like, why do we want to destroy this? And they're like, because it's not true. Because it's not like I get to decide my life. And that's what I was trying to get them to. And they finally are like, I'm gonna make this choice. If this is what I want to do, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, go girls. And they did. Like they ripped every piece apart. They were like taking the boxes and you just hear them going, "Wah!" and ripping everything. They would go after the little post-its and they'd just crumple them up and they'd stomp on them and they say, "You don't tell me what to do." And like the things they shouted just to support themselves, like this was amazing. And I loved it. It was something I had to do every single year. It was a part of the Wonder Woman program that I was like piecing together. Um, and like we ended up having to do it in the gym the last couple of years because it was too big and too messy. Because once you start working with students who are not second graders and they're a little bit older, like you need a little bit more space. Um, but it's one of my favorite teaching memories ever. And I love it. And I hope you enjoyed that story. And if you're interested in anything I did with Wonder Woman, um, I hope to kind of create like a program that I can offer so that other teachers who are interested in helping to empower young girls can do that. So yeah, I hope you all have a great day.